Day 239. Read my ground up of self love workbook for the generational curse breaker on social media. Straight into it. We are in the roots. Breaking off these roots. If you know, you know. Okay. So, yesterday we talked a little bit about unequally yoked connections. And today, ironically, God had me speaking about equally yoked connections. So, okay, let's get into it. So, we're talking about the properties, the physical properties of a balanced root chakra versus an imbalanced root chakra. And so, this is how deeply our chakras are connected to our health in general. This is energetic, right? But it also translate or transcends the spiritual realm. All sickness starts in the spirit realm first. So this is why we're even in the book, right, addressing the spiritual properties of sickness, illness, and dis-ease. Anywhere there is, say, stress in the body, that is technically the lack of ease, dis-ease. And we are trying to bring balance to those energetic principles, right? Those energetic aspects of us so we can have healing in the body, both physically, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, right? Because we're multi-dimensional people, right? So let's get into it. So it says, physically, a balanced root chakra provokes a healthy digestion process and feelings of high energy. As you can see, the wealth system extends into the physical. If that last passage got you motivated and your juices flowing, you are beginning to understand how this works. You may be thinking of life differently now, which is perfect. Mental energy can transfer into physical energy. High energy produces more activity and creativity. You could feel optimistic and confident to move forward in life. Our excitement compels us to get in motion. On the flip side of the coin is doubt, which leaves us unmotivated and depressed. Doubt is an empty emotion with an unquenchable thirst. It affects how we eat, how much, what we do, if we'll do it, how far we'll go, and if we'll go. It's scattered and confused. Although it's empty, it's also heavy because we fill it with worries. As those pile up, we get stuck. Life loses its luster, and so does the digestive system. All the body's systems function in one accord. When one is affected, so are the others. Emotions tend to be the root of all illness and dis-ease. Depression causes fatigue and slows down the body's natural rhythm. When the natural body is tired, the digestion process slacks and the root chakra becomes a dumping ground for toxic waste. Since depression can cause us to suffer from a poor relationship with food, this could look like constipation and trouble losing weight in our core. Without the proper coping skills, it can become easy to eat our emotions or not eat at all due to feelings of anxiety. It could be the root of eating disorders, bone deficiency, and other digestive issues. To counteract the effects of depression, we can add more physical activity to our daily life. Exercise promotes mental clarity and produces more energy. Although we tend to look to exercise to build physical strength, it aids in our ability to build mental and emotional fortitude, which is why it serves as a great antidepressant. The better we care for our bodies, the more confident we become in them and the longer they can function. Although we heal from the inside out, the physical body might be what leads you into your spiritual healing. We are more inclined to pay attention to what we can physically see. Now, the Lord God has shared with me previously that there are, say, two ways that you can experience a spiritual awakening. Now, obviously, I'm not saying that there aren't other ways, but speaking to what the Lord God has shared with me. So one is called crown down. This is when we are dealing with, like I said, the maybe mental health issues, we may fall into depression, and or we're, just looking for mental clarity and we want to be better. Also, I would say that this could also look like conspiracy theories, right? When we something has piqued our interest, and or we finally have the veil lift for us. Maybe we choose, is it the blue pill or the red pill? I think it's whichever. Think Neo, right? Where we start getting this idea that there's more to life and this world than what we can see. And so we start trying to pierce the matrix, and that's when you do start falling into like conspiracy theories and things of that nature, right? Well, that is like a crown down, because it starts in your mind. It starts with you breaking illusion, which another word for illusion is Maya. So it starts with you breaking illusion and breaking Maya, piercing the veil, wanting to know what's behind the curtain, right? This is crown down because it starts in your mind, right? Now, ultimately, what I've learned is the next phase to that could be, once you start waking up to reality, you want to feel better and look better because you understand. Again, your understanding of things is heightened. So you understand why it's so important for you to eat better, for you to work out, for you to even, carry yourself differently. You have a different understanding about that because you understand how it's also connected to how you are processing internally, right? As within, so without. Okay. Now, the other is soul up. And when you're experiencing soul up, which again, you can have these two awakenings synonymously, or like in one season, you might go through a crown down, and the next season, you might go through the soul up. Because if you didn't know, you will experience many spiritual awakenings in one lifetime. Trust me. Oh, trust me. Speaking to the soul up, it's where you might start with going to the gym and, you want to look better in your clothes. You want to feel better about yourself, so on and so forth. So it starts with how you look. And then ultimately you start realizing that it's not enough just for you to look better, but you actually want to feel better internally. And you're dealing with more of the emotional healing on the back end versus the front end, right? That's a soul up. It's based off of what you can see. And this is also, I'll give you another analogy for this. How I truly feel like people who experience the pretty hurts syndrome, and I'm using that, as a metaphor, but it's where you have somebody who's absolutely gorgeous, absolutely beautiful, and yet on the inside, they don't feel that way. They struggle with mental health issues, so on and so forth. And even some of those people may be to the point where they get stuck in conspiracy land. They don't necessarily make it out of the tunnel. Meaning they don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. So that is another aspect to me, if you will, of soul up, a spiritual awakening. And I hate to say it, unfortunately, not everyone makes it. But anyways, you are here, and I believe if you are here, that you want to see the end of the tunnel. You understand what I'm saying? You want to see the light at the end of the tunnel, and that's why you subscribe to the readings. So you already know what to do. Click the link in my bio, grab yours so we can do it together. One-on-one coaching available as well. One link, everything pops up. If you'd like to donate to the ministry, again, one link, everything pops up. Love you. Mwah.